of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me, however you may be doing that, whether that's on 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com, if you're listening via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or on our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search at SA Sports Star. Go ahead and like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show right there. You can also get at me on X at I am Pledger. Get the station at SA Sports Star. Or you can always call in the old-fashioned way, 210-656-3776. That is 656-ESPN. If you want to be a part of the show. Rangers coming up. They're going to take on the Brewers. Pre-game get you started here in about 30 minutes. We'll take you all the way up till that. Man, that is some crazy news. Jim Schlossnagle leaving the Texas A&M Aggies to go to the University of Texas. I don't have words to describe how Aggie fan is feeling because I don't know how Aggie fan is feeling. I know how I would feel if I was in their situation. Betrayed would be a word I'd use. Hurt, kicking the junk. All of those things apply because he has built an elite level program at Texas A&M. And before that, at TCU. With David Pierce being fired, and it's kind of the way everything came together. Did not know him and CDC were really close at TCU, best friends, as it's been written. And that seemingly has had a huge effect on landing Jim Schlossnagle. He has built an elite level program at Texas A&M in a short amount of time. And I can't imagine after losing a game 3, which heartbreaking fashion, play at the plate, all of these things can contribute to the way that things went down. But just hearing him talk about it last night, I thought he was quelling the rumors and squashing them all together.
I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again. And that hasn't changed in my mind. And that's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question. But I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it.
Once I heard that, I figured it was done. Like he was staying at Texas A&M. And Dyer says Texas just stuffed an ATM in a locker. Brad's wondering, jealous, went to Pierce the Veil. Yeah, Pierce the Veil and Blink was awesome. I'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But Chris saying we need a wellness check on Rob. Get him on the phone quick. Tomorrow morning's going to be a very, very interesting morning huddle with Rob Thompson. It's also going to be a very I imagine angry Rob Thompson. I heard some of this morning talking about the arrogance of Texas fan thinking they can come in and just take them, which it's insane to think that he would leave to go to the biggest rival. And it's as the team is coming back into the same conference to reunite and rekindle this rivalry that has existed for so long. And now they're just kind of pouring gasoline on all of it. David Umflett says he'd call in. Wook says he'd call in about being an Aggie fan, but he feels like the dump button may be used way too much. I feel you, man. I understand the difficulty of how much of a tremendous kick this must feel like. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Wes dialed in. Wes, what's going on? How you doing this evening?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks, Pledge, for taking my call.
Of course.
Hey, I just, as soon as this happened, I had to think back to the days of Chris Beard and Texas Tech, because it's exactly the same thing. Chris Del Conte met with Chris Beard at that time at a McDonald's in Plainview, and everybody said that, hey, Beard's not going anywhere. This is the job that he's been waiting for. He had just finished taking Tech to the title game, and it was a year from that, and it was like, he's not going anywhere. This is not going to happen. And Shablam, the next day, it seems like they were announcing that he was at UT, and hey, give it up to Chris Del Conte. He has no conscience, and he's a businessman. Hey, he sees a guy taking another team to the title game. Although I think it's, ethically, it's hard to fathom. But man, you got to give it to him. He's got a history of this.
He is shrewd, no doubt, Wes. And you bring up the Chris Beard thing, and I remember that vividly. And him meeting at a McDonald's in Plainview as they flew the private jet up there for him. And it's very reminiscent of that. I think that's a really good call in terms of just connecting dots in terms of how it's happened within the state. I still feel really bad for my Aggie friends, but as a Longhorn fan, I'm really happy because I know how great of a coach he is.
Yeah, and let me ask you this. Do you blame a guy for wanting to get the very best? I don't care what university you're at, and I was ticked at the time about Beard, but you can't be mad at a guy who's just seeing who's the best in the game. Schlossnagle had this, when he was at TCU, they were within a breath of a title every year too. I mean, This is not something that's new. And hey, anybody can say, well, go grow your own guy, but when you've got all the money that Texas does, you can do whatever you want. So appreciate it, buddy.
I appreciate you, Wes. Thanks so much for the phone call today. This has to be a rough one. Nim says, as a Longhorns fan, never shy away from butting heads with Aggies. It's all good. I imagine Longhorn fans are very chest pumped out because when they talk about arrogant Longhorn fan, this is what they're talking about. The fact that they think, and provenly so, can just throw money at something and make it theirs and will skip no steps and no price too high for them to get what they feel is going to take their program. And single team that we rooted for was the exact same way, and that there was no price that wouldn't be paid for success. And success doesn't always come, but to know that you will not rest on your laurels. And I started thinking about, Schlossnagle was brought in by Ross Bjork when he was the AD there. And once Del Conte left TCU, Schlossnagle, left for Texas A&M. And I saw the changing, and we look at the athletic director right now, and you hear rumors about Sonny Dykes potentially being on the hot seat. He's just a couple of years removed from playing in a national title game, and already rumors of him on the hot seat within a couple of years from that. TCU, football, national title. Those words all don't go together in the same sentence. He took them there and is already talk about how warm his seat's getting just a few years later. Yes, Jim Slosnagel just made it to the College World Series and was within a game of winning it. But what's to say what happens in a couple of years? This isn't Trev Albert's hire. This isn't his pick. And maybe going to play for a close friend and rekindling that friendship and working relationship together is something he just couldn't pass on. But I'll tell you what, Texas versus Texas A&M baseball is going to be insanely provoking this season. And I cannot wait. This rivalry is getting real. As Fred Record says, it just got real again with this rivalry. True that. Because I know Rob has what he's dubbed battered Aggie syndrome. This one's got to sting worse than anything, because it's the double whammy effect of you take game one, you're within a game, you lose with that play at the plate and not making the tag, like just so many Aggie type ways to fall apart happened, and then you lose your head coach on top of it to the team you probably hate the most as an Aggie. If we're being honest, there is nothing that Aggies love more than to just hate the University of Texas. They ran to the SEC to get away from Texas and the Longhorn Network and all of that stuff. And now here they come July 1st with that SEC branded logo, come into the conference and took your head coach that led you within a game of a national championship. It's the double whammy effect. It's got to be just so much to deal with. More on this. Plus, the draft is tomorrow night. The rumors have been flying around all over the place involving the Spurs. And I'll tell you what, I'm here for it. Whether they happen, whether they don't, the Spurs are in constant conversation. Their name is constantly in everybody's mouth. And whether it comes to fruition or not, it's just nice to know that the NBA world is looking on San Antonio and just waiting with bated breath. We'll discuss that next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist. Any weird funk, and to give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money, unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-205-5350. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-205-5350 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief-cation. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 88589E M16004.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Lowe's knows owning a project means owning the right tools. And during Craftsman Days, you can save big on what you need from a brand you trust. Get a free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of the V20 string trimmer or leaf blower for only $99. Find these savings and more today. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 7/10 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Check out the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And make sure to definitely check it out tomorrow morning. You want to see what Rob's reaction to the news of Jim Schlossnagle leaving Texas A&M to go to the University of Texas as they join the SEC about a week from today, or a week from Monday. So it's going to be a heck of a show on the Morning Huddle 6 to 10 right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. We are close. We are less than 24 hours now away from us beginning our draft coverage right here on San Antonio Sports Star, which starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow. The San Antonio Spurs, they have been in a ton of talk this offseason. And it's nice. It's nice. Whether any of it comes to fruition or not, it is nice to be in the conversation in terms of the national media is constantly, Spurs are linked to Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, Darius Garland, Lauri Markkanen, PG-13, Paul George. That everyone that may be available, could come available, might be traded. They have been involved in those, and that goes for the draft too. From Risha Shea to Sar to Stephon Castle to Klingon. Now is the latest rumors that the Spurs had a sit down with them, and talks went really well. And if anybody wants to move up, you've got to go through the Spurs to get Donovan Klingon. The great spot that they're in terms of Victor Wembanyama's presence and his ability to not just attract the media attention, but also players. It's going to be incredible to watch. And remember to watch tomorrow's draft. And if you're expecting a move and it doesn't happen, wait. Don't freak out, because until those contracts are signed, they can be traded by the team. So just because it doesn't happen draft night does not also mean that it can't happen in the future. And by the way, if you get upset with the notion of drafting Stephon Castle and Rob Dillingham or Nikola Topic or whoever it may be and doubling up at a position potentially, don't be. Remember, the Sacramento Kings doubled up on a position with De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton. And they decided which one they wanted to keep and traded the other for the veteran all-star at the position they actually needed later down the road. A player hitting is more important than drafting a positional need or value, because especially the way we've talked about that, this is a weaker draft class, right? So take the best available player to you. It doesn't matter what position it's at. It's the best player. You're going to be able to move a player that is good a lot easier than trying to move a Luka Samanic who never worked out, because you need a stretch four. No, you need to take the right player and figure it out after the fact. That is the best way to handle the NBA draft. More so than any other, just because Jeff McDonald was on the Blitz earlier today, and you can catch that interview in our audio vault at AA Best Bail Bonds. And he talked about, go look at the top 10 picks in like the last 5, 6, 7, 8, go as far back as you want. There's a lot more misses than hits. And a lot of those guys aren't even in the league anymore in a lot of cases. It's a bit of a crapshoot. So rolling the dice, taking the best available player, regardless of position, will give you a much greater chance at success, in my opinion, than just, man, we really need a big to pair with Victor to kind of take the strain off him at 5, or we really need a point guard. No. Because that player, if he doesn't work out, to cost more GMs their job than not. Paul A says on our YouTube channel, Spurs, what about John Wall signing? Says he'll do whatever just to be back in the NBA. He could be a veteran presence at point guard. Look, I wouldn't be mad about adding a veteran point guard. Injuries have taken their toll on John Wall, and that's kind of been the biggest issue with him. So you would need likely to have something as protection, whether it's in the draft, free agency. You're going to need to make sure that you're ready for that. Check on your friends, especially if they're Aggies right now, because it has been a rough couple of days for them. This has been Extra Innings with Pleasure. Rangers Brewers coming up next here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've